What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, your man's Toxic Gamer 331. I'm back at it with another review. And last night, I was checking out the new Netflix movie, Lift, with Kevin Hart. But before we get into actual beginning of the review itself, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, which is number one. It's absolutely free. Number two, we're on the road to 600 subscribers now. Just 61 away now. Really help out your boy if you did subscribe. Also, if you missed my previous toxic movie reviews I've done in the past, they're in a playlist on my YouTube channel if you'd like to check that out. Also, don't forget to like the video as well, because let me know that you do like my toxic movie reviews and to help with the YouTube algorithm and recommend the video more. But before we get into actual review itself, let's give a quick plot synopsis, shall we? So transition on shows. A master thief is wooed by his ex-girlfriend and the FBI to pull off an impossible heist with his international crew on a 777 passenger flight from London to Zurich. Alright guys, and I would just also like to point out, do feel free to comment your thoughts of Lift down below as well. If I can't remember if I forgot I said that or if I did say that, but yeah. Let me know your thoughts of it or whatever. With that being said, going into this one, I just saw it on Movie Insider. That's how I find out that how most movies are coming to streaming or theaters. I use that to find out what movies are coming out this next month. And I saw this was coming out, and it had Kevin Hart in it, and that attached that caught my eye and said, interesting, and straight to Netflix. Hopefully it can be good. And, we'll see if it ends up being good with my review. So let's, go ahead and review this thing. Alright, starting off with the pretty good cast. This has a really star-studded cast. It has Kevin Hart, as I mentioned before. It also has Vincent D'Onofrio in here in a little minor role. It also has some other actors. I don't know and it also has Sam Worthington in here too, the guy that plays Jake Sully, as they say, in Avatar. So that's who he plays in there, and he's also Perseus in the Clash of the Titans, and what's the second one? Wrath of Titans. I think I forgot what the sequel in the first movie was called. Anyways, but he's in here too in a minor role, and then there's a bunch of actors that I recognize, but I don't know the names of. Like they have, I forgot what the character's name was, but he's the turncoat in Mission Impossible 1, where he helps John Voight's character. He's in this, and he's also plays Leon the Professional, which I've never seen that movie, but I know he plays that character and is in that movie. It had the bad guy from Spy Kids Armageddon. That's the only thing I've seen him in. And it also had the main girl from Loki too. So it had a pretty decent cast. It has Jacob Batalon in here too as a little minor appearance, but it was cool to see him in the movie again after he got done doing the Spider-Man movies. So it was cool to see him in a little minor role. So yeah, pretty good cast. Another positive, decent action and fight choreography. Especially during one certain sequence, I thought the fight choreography and the action was pretty good. We'll eventually talk about that sequence in the good. But, yeah, it was pretty decent, but it wasn't amazing by any means. It was just overall good, so I liked the action. Another positive, Vincent D'Onofrio has a funny performance, which it's pretty interesting seeing him doing like a funny role, because mostly everyone knows him for his serious roles like Kingpin in the Daredevil / Echo / Hawkeye series, where he's a serious character. What's that character's name from Jurassic World? It's like the bad guy. I forgot what his name was, Hoskins, I think that's what his name was. He plays a serious role in that, and this one, he kind of plays a more funny role, and it seems as if he's having fun doing it. So it was fun to see him there, and yeah. And then the final good of this, the plane fight sequence. So when I was talking about that one scene that had decent action and fight choreography, there's a plane sequence in here that I thought was really cool. But yeah, otherwise, unfortunately, that's where the good ends. So now, let's move on to the mixed aspect of the film. And the mixed aspect is the heist aspect. Because it's cool to see a fresh new heist movie, but it does the same beats for beats as the previous heist movies, and it's been done better, you know? And, some of the heist aspect I thought was interesting and a little different from certain other heist movies. So that's why it goes into the mixed section. Now, unfortunately, we move on to the bad. I mentioned this in my short review last night. How Kevin Hart's performance is serious in the movie, I thought was more than funny and goofy. Which I thought was weird, because there's only a random few serious performance that he's had that I've seen him in. Like, the most serious I've seen him in is The Upside with Bryan Cranston, which that movie's amazing. One of Kevin Hart's best, where he does still have some comedy in there, but he's mostly serious during the whole entire time. This one, I feel like, was his most serious role, and it didn't work. Because it's so... You're so used to hearing him say certain jokes or whatever during certain situations, and I didn't really hear much jokes out of him, so it was like, I didn't dig him as the tough guy role. Then we got another bad, predictability. I thought it was very predictable, especially in the final act, which most movies are nowadays, so yeah, it was predictable, simple as that. Another negative, similar to Red Notice. For those who have not seen Red Notice, it's another heist movie that's done way better than this, I think. Whereas The Rock, Gal Gadot, and Ryan Reynolds, all three in it. And it was a pretty decent Netflix movie, but it could have been better. This one feels as if it's the same exact thing, with some certain differences here and there, but it felt very similar to Red Notice, for those who have seen that. Another bad, I thought the acting wasn't that good in here, unfortunately. There's moments, I think the main character that plays Abby is somewhat good, but otherwise, I didn't think the acting was that good, really, unfortunately. But yeah. Now, also, we have the villain felt underdeveloped. So the Leon the Professional is the villain in here, and felt underdeveloped. I wish we saw him more so we can sort of build up the villain a little bit more and his little goons or whatever. But they don't do much a job of that either. Another negative, not much comedy. It's labeled on, when you search for it online on Safari or whatever, it's labeled as an action comedy, and I didn't see much comedy, really. There were some certain scenes where I saw comedy, but I wasn't laughing. I didn't see the comedy aspect much, really, so that's unfortunate. Another negative, I also wish there was more action. The plane action sequence is great. I wish we got more action sequences like that. But this one follows more the heist aspect more than the action sequence. So, yeah, that lands it here. And then, another bad, Sam Worthington's character. I think Sam Worthington's a good actor, but his character in here is written terribly. Which, I think he acts the part fine, but it's definitely at the bottom of the barrel for his one of his worst performances, even though he acts fine in the role. So, yeah, with that being said, guys, let's bring out the toxic meter. And I will give this a toxic disappointment. With the cast, it had me intrigued and ended up letting me down. And then if you're wondering what that is in letter form, that I will give this one a C-. And this is just a meh movie. It's forgettable. It's not it's not bad, it's not awful. It's just meh and forgettable. So if you want somewhat of a fun time or whatever, just spend 2 hours or whatever on streaming and want to watch something, I guess this deserves a shot. But then again, I think there's way more better stuff on streaming, so I wouldn't give a strong recommend to see this. But with that being said, guys, that is just my thoughts on the Lift. Be sure to leave your thoughts on it down below on what you thought of it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel as well, because number 1, it's absolutely free, and number 2, we're on the road to 600 subscribers now, just 61 away now. Really help out your boy if you did subscribe. Also, don't forget to like the video if you do like my toxic movie reviews, because let me know that you do like them. It'll help with the YouTube algorithm recommend the video more. If you missed my previous toxic movie reviews I've done in the past, they're in a playlist on my YouTube channel if you'd like to check that one out. Also, don't forget to ring the bell for all notifications and notification upload, because we do multiple uploads here on the channel every single day. Also, do share the video, because also, man, I guess more people join the toxic. And with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all in the next one, everybody. Peace.